Welcome in. 9:03 is the time. It's our daily show right here on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. The 25th day of April. We're almost to May. Graduation season is upon us, and I know that so many of us here at RiverBender.com are excited to broadcast those graduations and to really celebrate the next chapter of the generations of the Riverbend region. That'll be coming down the pipeline in the next 2 weeks. And if you're a family member, a friend, loved one of a prospective senior that's graduating, you know how those graduation tickets get. Well, you can watch it on RiverBender.com. It's a great thing that we do, and I'm so glad that we do it. With that being said, we have a great show for all of you today. We're going to be talking to Lee Cox. She's going to be joining us in 16 minutes or so. We're going to get the latest from Alton Little Theater. They're Singing in the Rain. We're going to get details on how well ticket sales are doing. So many of you are really interested in Singing in the Rain, and we're going to get the latest updates on that. But again, talking about the open house, which is in 3 days, where you can bring your little one on Sunday to the show place and learn about their audition process, even do an audition for Oliver, and so many other things. So we're going to get that in about 16 minutes. Then Sydney Sinks joins us at 10:10. We're going to get the latest from Blog Talk. She's going to be filling us in on her opportunities to go and, meander around a little bit. And I don't know if this one was the coffee shop one or not, but I'm pretty sure she's listening, and I'm under pressure right now. So, Sydney, don't hold me to it. I'm just trying to get through the intro here. At 10:35, Donna Kennedy joins us. She joined us last year. She's an author, and she has a new book coming out. We're going to get the latest from her and learn a little bit more about what the journey's going to take with this next novel. That all comes down the pipeline in the next 2 hours. But before I do news, man, I don't know about you, if it's the weather or what, but I feel like a literal bus hit me. I mean, I, for a couple of days, felt great. Last week felt pretty good. And then, man, just out of nowhere, it's like a left hook with these sinuses today. I don't know if you guys are feeling anything like that. Comment or text me and let me know how you're feeling today. But at 9:05, here is what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for your daily email update where you'll never miss out. You can join myself and over 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Alton first. Yesterday morning, a traffic incident involving two vehicles occurred at the intersection of Illinois Route 143 and Corporal Chris Belichick Memorial Highway in Alton. The collision resulted in significant damage to one of the vehicles, but fortunately, no injuries were reported. Alton police, alongside Illinois State Police, promptly responded to the scene, where they conducted an investigation and managed traffic flow. The intersection was temporarily blocked to facilitate the investigation, causing minor traffic delays. Authorities are still investigating the cause of the crash. Also in the news, on April the 24th, Brooks and Graham Olmstein, aged 7 and 9, experienced a day that they won't soon forget as they were sworn in as sheriffs for the day in Madison County. The ceremony, officiated by Judge Stephen Stobbs, kick-started a day filled with activities, including meetings with key county figures and exploring law enforcement vehicles. Madison County Sheriff Jeff Connor, who initiated the program, emphasized that its role in showcasing the human side of law enforcement and fostering community connections. The day, which included donuts and a staff meeting led by young sheriffs, was part of an annual school auction aimed at funding educational programs at Maryville Christian School. At 9:07, as spring blooms, the Riverbend region's also buzzing with a diverse array of community events, promising fun and even learning for all ages. Highlighted events include the 7th annual Mississippi Masters at Lock Haven Golf Club, which is tomorrow and offers a spirited competition for enthusiasts and just individuals that want to enjoy the Grafton Chamber of Commerce and Lock Haven with cash payouts and contests. Music lovers can revel in live performances at Flock with artists like Joel and Elliot Pearson, and at Post 1308 featuring the energetic Buzztones. The 9th annual plant sale at Three Rivers Community Farm also caters to gardening fans with unique organic plants and supplies, including compost and more, that happens this weekend. Moreover, events like the Spring Vendor Market and Riverside Flea Market offer a treasure trove of goods and local artisans and vendors. Engaging activities like the Adult Spring Scavenger Hunt with Hainer Library provides a playful challenge with some enticing prizes. We'll go through the full weekend go guide here in the next couple hours or so, but in the meantime, you can check out RiverBender.com/events. Also in the news today, on Tuesday, Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski visited the Boys and Girls Club of Bethalto, presenting them with a $1 million check for a new clubhouse. The funding, part of a larger $136.1 million project secured for the 13th Congressional District. It was celebrated during a tour led by local youths, Monty and Bella, and attended by key community figures, including Bethalto Mayor Gary Bost. Senior Executive Director Kathleen Wilson highlighted the plans for the new state-of-the-art facility, which aims to expand services and increase accessibility, featuring dedicated areas for STEM, cooking, and career development. The project promises to enhance community resources and accommodate more children in their after-school programs. Finally, in the news today at 9:09 this morning out of Lewis and Clark, it's offering a streamlined pharmacy technician program, preparing students for state certification in response to the high demand in the state of Illinois, one of the top 5 states requiring pharmacy technicians. From January 2024, Illinois law allows aspiring technicians to either complete an accredited program or accrue 500 working hours for exam eligibility. The program, surviving where many didn't post-COVID-19, boasts dual accreditation from ASHP and ACPE and enhances job prospects by equipping students with necessary skills. The course offers flexible learning options and leads to certification that significantly boosts employability in this thriving field. Also, let's take a look at weather today. It's 48 degrees, and we're almost to May. Man, it's a little chilly out there. It feels like 53. Temperatures will reach 64 degrees today and drop down to 50 overnight. Excuse me, folks. We have a breaking news alert. A man is in custody. Glen Carbon police have responded to an incident involving weapons pointed at construction workers. This just came down the pipeline. So before we do weather, one last news story. The Glen Carbon police did announce today that it responded to a 911 call in the area of Lyack Street, reporting an incident involving a subject allegedly pointing a rifle in the direction of several workers engaged in construction at an adjacent residence. The police said this occurred after the subject had a verbal altercation with several of the individuals. The case was presented to the Madison County State's Attorney's Office, and they identified and charged 37-year-old Kenyon J. Jones of Glen Carbon with the following offenses. Count 1, unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. Count 2 and 3, aggravated assault charges. Jones was ordered to be remanded to the custody of the Madison County Jail to be held until his initial appearance in court. Back to weather, it's 48 degrees, feels like 53. Temperatures reach 64 degrees today, drop down to 50 overnight. On Friday, a 97% chance that we are getting thunderstorms and you name it. A high of 71, a low of 64. On Saturday, the 27th, a high of 80, a low of 67 degrees. No rain in the forecast. However, on Sunday and Monday, get out your umbrella. On Sunday, a 97% chance again of thunderstorms. A high of 80 on Sunday, a low of 62. On Monday, a high of 73, a low of 52 degrees, with 65% chance of precipitation on Monday. For time and temperature throughout the day, you give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He is your local State Farm agent. Before I take a quick break, let me fill you in on Hainer Library. You know, Hainer Library is more than just a library. It's more than just a building. I call it a door. It's a door to adventure, a door to knowing, a door to discovery, a door to entertainment. You know, there's so many great incentives of Hainer Library, but let me fill you in on one that I think is just really that cool. Hainer Library now offers the Library of Things, non-traditional items available for checkout right there at our local institution. So the new collection of non-traditional items is available for free with a Hainer Library card. You got to get, man, I got to go pick mine up. I keep forgetting about that. Well, what's in it? A piano keyboard, multi-purpose speaker systems with a microphone, a projector screen, ghost hunting kits, bubble machines, ring lights with a tripod, and a phone holder, stand mixer, microscopes, green screens, cornhole games, pickleball sets, metal detectors, and so much more. Why is this so important? Think about this. Throughout the summer, throughout the year, whether or not you have children or not, let's say your child comes up to you and says, Mom, I really need to get a microscope. Dad, I really need to get this science project done, but I need a microscope. I don't know where to go. I need to find this. I need an Epson projector for an outdoor movie night. Why go pay a big box store all this money when you're going to return it the next day? Get your Hainer Library card, head on over to the library, pick up and check out one of the items in the Library of Things. You return it, it's free. There you go. All in part of Hainer Library. For more information, HainerLibrary.org. That's HainerLibrary.org. And don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you their way. We're going to take a quick break, but, you know, as always, we like to send you out to Skycam right here in downtown Alton. Let's take a look at how everything's looking. We'll come back with Theater Thursday, Lee Cox, right after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase every...
I just thought, what better way to start Theater Thursday this week than
I
with
love it.
some
I
singing in the
love it.
rain? Lee Cox, how are we doing this morning?
Well, we are
doing great this morning. In fact, I just told you I came from another event last night, and I realized that our focus is really on families and youth all summer long. But of course, kicking off with Singing in the Rain, which I have so many kids. I had no idea how many people in high school, because we've been doing career days at all the high schools.
Oh, yeah.
And that they love singing
Are you
in the rain.
going to Alton High tomorrow?
No.
Oh. They got a career fair tomorrow.
Oh, do you? Well, they didn't invite us there. I've been going everywhere else in the area. So you might, say, gosh, where's Alton Little Theater?
I might just have to hand out some signage, hand out some brochures.
Exactly. That would be great. That's a little weird. But, Christy's been off.
Oh, yeah.
And so that could be part of it.
Yeah. Well, it's a big transitional period for the district. It seems like a lot of districts are really transitioning right now, with new people and new ideas coming in and all that.
Right, but last night I met some wonderful people. Lewis and Clark was well represented, which kind of surprised me given that this was, elementary school.
They got a while to go.
But they had great displays, interaction with the kids, and they're having a big career day in July. And so we got invited to that last night.
Well, I didn't get invited to that one.
And they're very sports oriented, so I felt this is
really
great.
cool.
They went a little balance, yeah.
Well, how are you feeling about Singing in the Rain?
I am feeling just so joyful, except I cannot figure out May 18th, Saturday night. I don't know what's going on, but that is the only night that we really have a number of tickets left. Everything else has dwindled to 10 here, maybe 5 here, 6 here. May 18th. So I don't know what I have to do to fill up that night.
Well, it is National Pizza Party Day.
Oh, see, I knew you would have the answer for, because it's not Mother's Day weekend. If it was Mother's Day weekend, I would kind of understand that when you have two sides of a family, you have to split it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, no, Mother's Day weekend, because they know we have a raffle and we give prizes to mothers, and we are having this big cash umbrella. We fill it with cash, half from us, half from the people. We just decided to do a 50-50 raffle, and I got this beautiful, huge umbrella that hangs from the chandelier, and then they can take their cash and just have it rain all over them if they win. So I thought it was easy, and I thought that would be fun.
That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
Well, I just can't believe 18. So everything else, though, is looking great.
It's looking very good. And again, this is wonderful because it's the last chance to get the $5 off coupon and the $5 off on a season ticket.
Right.
So they're really saving $10, and they can get their season tickets. And then this summer is really focused on youth and family. So
I wanted to show
get to hear about that
real quick. So we're going to go a little bit on the scene here at Alton Little Theater's website. And I wanted to show that. Do you know I could do this? I didn't know I could either.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad you can. So very glad.
So this is altonlittletheater.org, folks. And you can see right off the bat, we're starting off with that Disney tribute. This is the Extra Entertainment series.
Yes.
Disney tribute, but then right into Oliver.
Yes. In fact, Oliver auditions are May 11th and the 18th at 10. Usually he loves Sunday, and that shows you just how busy we are. There was not a Sunday that he could,
Are you serious?
that he could have auditions. But we need 15 to 17 kids between 8 and 17. So that's what I tried to talk about last night. If you've got, a kid who's been doing, Eddie's show at middle school, Zoozical, it was fabulous.
I heard they did a great job.
Oh, they did an absolutely fabulous job.
One of my goalkeepers had to be thrown into the lead role with a couple of days' notice. He was, I guess, the second, and then jumped into the limelight, and he did great from what I heard.
Oh my gosh, Let's see, I didn't know that, but we had Kevin's grandson in it, so we were all, he played the Grinch and a couple of other roles. So, we were all there supporting him. But so many of the parents, they know Eddie, or their kids have taken voice lessons, and so he kind of, funnels some kids. But this is going to be a great family show in August. But again, people aren't thinking, auditions in May, but you really have to, because once school's out, families plan their vacations and all of this, and we even are doing it early. August 2nd is when it opens, because school starts earlier than it used to.
Isn't that wild?
None of that after Labor Day stuff.
What are the schedules looking like for rehearsals and things, just in case any parents are kind of curious?
Well, see, the Disney tribute goes goes through June 9th. So Kevin will actually start, but not everyone. It has 15 to 17 kids and 15 to 17 adults. Huge cast.
Oh, my gosh.
So the kids are in 5 major numbers. There's a lot of other, things when it's just poor little Oliver begging at the orphanage for more porridge, things like that.
Right.
But that's a pivotal role. And again, we don't precast.
Right.
And we have a group of teenagers, well, they were teenagers, and now our kids that started with us at 10 or 11, they're all in their 20s now.
No.
And so we're like, we have to replace them. we need this other group of kids.
Well, how cool would that be, though, for any parent out there and their child to go, my first acting role was I led an Oliver.
Exactly.
And I played Oliver.
Well, and even the Artful Dodger, and Kevin said, it's going to be huge, so the kids can tumble and jump and hide and come out. It will be his choreographer, Arsenio Gaines. He's just so delightful, and he will have fun with them, and he's got a great music director. It's going to be fun.
It's going to come together really well.
Oh, yes.
Well, and I'm excited to see what he does with the stage, because he is so creative with the set designs. It'll be really cool to see that.
Well, and this show, Singing in the Rain, has a lot of set pieces and then a lot of technology. So I knew he was missing working with wood, and sure enough, he showed me the design for Oliver, and I was like, so it's sort of like a mansion, only it looks dilapidated. I mean, it's huge.
Are you serious?
It goes 44 feet of wood here and there, up the second level. Bridges, London Bridge has to be there. Yeah.
How difficult is that with your space? I mean, that has got to be some work of art in itself.
It is, and literally for the Disney concert, he had to build in another set of rigging so that she could have more depth for hers, and he's got this whole thing behind, but he has to start on it right away so that the audience will never see there's this whole big London skyline and everything behind it. So yeah, we never really stop. And then we have the acting classes in July, the 8th through the 19th, and so the kids will really, I think, have fun seeing the stages. They've always loved running the spotlights and figuring out the sound and lights, and then we do 3 or 4 skits. Each class will do 3 or 4 skits for a showcase for their parents at the end.
That's so cool.
And we're signing people up. We already have 3, and that's why this Sunday, I know they said it might rain, so come to Alton Little Theater from 2 to 4. It's a free open house, and we have cake, and we have punch, we have free tickets, but it's the early registration. If they really want to get their kids involved in something this summer, we're only doing 12 in each class.
Yeah.
So 8 to 12 and 13 to 17.
Well, to be honest with you guys, too, the way that it happened last year, when you put out that press release, it went pretty quick.
It did, and I am such a softie, then I'd have people who I hadn't seen in 20 years call me, hey, could you please get my kid in? And part of the problem is it just gets harder because then if they didn't show up. So we made it more intense, just 2 weeks, because we know people take vacations, but it's very hard for the kids if they're gone and they're in a group and they get cast and then they're not there, and we're like, are they showing up or not?
Right.
So, and we think it's very reasonable. Lots of them are lots more expensive, and we do have to pay for the materials, even the royalties on the skits we use, and then we always have refreshments and water and everything that they need. Yeah, snacks.
How long do they run throughout the day?
It's really a 90-minute class for each section. So we go back to back, and it's exhausting, as you know from coaching.
Oh, yeah.
And then because we go home, we're like, okay, 2 hours to rehearsal. Where can we lie down?
Who brought the keg of Coors?
But we love it because the kids, by and large, in great measure, are just wonderful. The kids I met last night at the West Open House, they were adorable and so energetic, and a lot of them could sing. They would break into song and tell me that they're going to go on America's Got Talent or The Voice. I mean, they've grown up with that, believing that they could do anything, and I just love that.
Well, and that's got to be encouraging for you, too, to see that there is more of an interest into really putting our talents, our youth are putting their, vocal talents out there and putting themselves out there. And it really, it's so much more important than entertainment. It's for life, because if you can have your child at 7 put themselves out there and be in front of an audition panel and go through that, they're going to feel so much more confident as it goes on, and not the brash confidence, but just the confidence to be able to hold your own and to do what you need to do.
Just outgoing and interacting with people. I could tell the kids who had been involved in some school activities, and I know not all parents, the transportation and everything else, but I could really tell last night because the kids were very outgoing and asked questions, and they had their little bags and they picked up everything, and they were like, "When does this start? What do I have to wear?"
Well, and that's what I think.
And I'm like, in elementary school, that's a level of composure that I don't think we have.
No. Well, and one thing that I'm looking forward to the most, and I don't know, I'm just, how I do this, I think out loud, and I don't think it'll be possible. But man, if there was a way that Riverbender could find a sponsor to live stream Rocky Horror Picture on October 31st, I am so excited because it's going to cost. I mean, that's expensive, but to have a midnight showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show on Halloween night is the coolest thing.
Yes,
100%.
In fact, Michael and we volunteered to be the ushers that night because the whole board just kind of went, and I'm like, okay, so I don't get home till 3 a.m. I might come in a little later the next day.
That's right, because you run until the 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And then Becca said, "Oh, and you have to wear costumes." So I ordered Michael a Johnny Depp costume.
Oh no.
And anybody who knows my husband, he's the antithesis of Johnny Depp. But I thought it looks cool. It's just wacky. It's just everything about the show.
And that's what I think's cool. I wanted to talk about the first 3 because I know that they're seriously. I mean, guys, let me just show you this website again, just so we can go through all these.
Because children cannot come to Rocky Horror.
No,
it's 18. Well, just because we were talking about kids, I just wanted them to know.
Yeah, and so as you see, Rocky Horror is 18 plus. But I mean, you look; these are just the extra entertainment series, folks. This goes all the way through 2025 with it ends with the Haunted Widow Lincoln.
But it's not going to end because we will have one more in March. I just got the contact information about a wonderful duo. Both have been Broadway singers and do comedy and singing, and I'm contacting them and seeing if we can work out a deal because they've done some charitable concerts, but they just look fabulous. They send me a little video and things, and I'm like, I've been looking, and there were several things that I'm like, well, maybe, but
this was one you can buy on.
Yeah, they seem like the real deal.
Man, that's awesome. Well, then let's just go real quick to the upcoming shows. Back to the screen real quick. Yes. Look at how much is going on here in the 90. This Singing in the Rain wraps up the 90th.
Yes, and that's so confusing to people. We were founded by teachers. They lived by the school year. Yeah.
But you go all the way down, and I mean, just through the gauntlet of just wonderful shows. I mean, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 12 shows.
Yes.
Give or take.
Far.
Yeah, so far with more to go. And now, how is the cast feeling with Singing in the Rain coming up on May 10th? I mean, are we at
They love it. The last Friday was the first time the entire cast got to sit and watch it rain. I mean, they knew it. They saw it. They've heard about it. Ben, who's the policeman, he said, I get really wet because I have to stay in there. And I'm like, honey, I've got a whole another uniform for you to put on as soon as you come off stage, because I knew that was going to be really important.
And
to
2
her.
towels.
Multiple. They got these squishy things for stage, and we had to buy special paint so that it runs off, it beads and runs off. Sherman Williams helped us find that paint and did all of the pre-mixing. But it is fascinating how Kevin constructed this and how the water disappears into the gutter and gets really worked.
How does it feel on stage with all of that going on? Same as normal?
It's humid. The song goes on for 4 minutes and 10 seconds if you watch the movie. Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And it goes on, and he's smiling, and the lady, that's so cute. We have an adorable young actress playing the old lady. I put a wig and everything, and it was great. But she said, my tights are going to get wet. Can you get me galoshes? And so I got cute vintage galoshes for her. She goes, I think I'll be okay. She goes, it really rains. I'm like, it does. You can feel.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, in all seriousness, for the audience, that's a 4D material.
It really is. And see, think how wonderful it is, because it wouldn't have occurred to me. He had to do the spout so that the water comes up. So we're like 3 inches from the ceiling, because otherwise, even when you turn the water off, they would drip if they were down. So they're in a case, so they could hold that much water without dripping, and then it comes over the top.
When he said that, I mean, that's something I wouldn't even have thought of at all. I really wouldn't have. And if you're just tuning in, we're just chatting it up with Singing in the Rain. May 18th is when you need to get your tickets to Singing in the Rain.
But May 10th through the 19th, we have a few here.
Are there still a few?
Oh, yeah, there are a few. Yeah, opening night and the Sundays are pretty tight. But see, what happens is we do not like to say sold out. We say, please call the box office, because people will call and say, oh, my daughter-in-law is having us over. Could we come on Wednesday? And we always let season ticket holders change without charging them. So that's part of our commitment to them. So call the box office. But yeah, the 18th is the only one that I'm like, what's going on in town, because I don't see.
When you find out, you let me know, because I haven't heard of it.
I'll go invite those people. Please, hey, take a break. Come up here and see a funny musical. It's funny. It's loving. And the tap dancing, I cannot believe, actually, we found 12 people who can tap dance.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, and lots of them are local. I mean, Eric is from Granite City. He's the managing director at Al Fresco. We saw him in Sweeney Todd. I mean, we knew of him. He's never performed at our theater, and he ended up bringing 4 people with him, one that we already knew of. But, yeah, a lot of people from St. Louis, but a lot of local people who took tap for years and just haven't ever, really used that skill. But Mary Fox is our choreographer, and she taps like a dream. She teaches over in St. Louis. And I'm telling you, it's the diet you want to go on. All of these people, I have to measure them weekly.
Are you serious?
No. Fall off of you. Well, Lorian Warford, he's so cute, so adorable. And he had a 30-inch waist, had a 34-inch inseam. He's a little difficult to fit anyway.
Yeah.
He's down to 28. I'm like, stop.
Oh, no.
I cannot go to the boys department and find a 34-inch inseam.
No way. Oh, God.
And they each have 3 pairs of taps, because they worn out. They've already broken one pair, but they have to have ones that kind of look like spats. And then there's another pair. You remember the Donald O'Connor scene where he jumps on the wall and turns around? Well, he had to have special ones for that, because they're slick on the bottom, and he's going to kill himself doing that.
You're right, though, because that really is the slickest metal you can find out there.
It is. So just for that one, he has a special pair.
So you got folks going on the biggest weight loss of their lives. You got rain falling everywhere.
I feed them all the time.
Well, and that's something, though, seriously, I mean, it takes experience to go through that, because, when you said that, I immediately thought of the movie Casino, when the guy is sitting with the ballerinas and they're like 2 pounds over, and how serious that was. But just to hear that on the flip side of it is people losing too much weight, and now you're going, oh my God, I got to find all these outfits to make sure they're still able to wear them on stage.
Well, we're waiting on one of the tappers' outfits. I thought I could get her in a 2. I knew she was tiny. She needs a 0.
No way. That's a good problem to have.
And I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, it doesn't arrive in time, and I will clip you in this. But she's just so
Take
tiny.
out the staple gun.
And she's a runner, and I said, stop running.
Just for 2 weeks. Just for like 2 or 3 weeks. Stop running. Wait. The time is 9:36, but Lee Cox is not going anywhere. We're going to come back. We got to talk open house. We're going to touch on that a little bit more. We're going to talk about season ticket opportunities, the specials that await you, and all that fun stuff. But May 18th and May the 11th, May the 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th, they're right for the picking for you, and Singing in the Rain for your family, friends to go and enjoy a couple hours of escape, especially after the news that I just saw today. we all need an escape from reality. We'll be back with more of our daily show at 9:36 right after this.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. I don't need 2 dozen roses. I got Lee Cox next to me.
My adopted son. I love him.
So let's talk season tickets.
Yes.
They. How much longer do folks have for specials?
Well, till June 1st, you get the $5 off coupon that you can use for any of the shows, the extra, or you can, bring a friend with you and have them try the season, and then you get $5 off the ticket. And then it's still very reasonable from June 1st to September 1st. You don't pay $90, which is still reasonable until September. The very last time is from September 1st and through the September show.
Well, to me, though, even when you said 90, I think that's a little too low, because if you look, if you really do look around, folks, and you go to different shows and things, you're going to pay at least 90 on one sometimes.
We are, and we have never even charged an upcharge at all for credit cards, but the bank, everybody is after us because our costs, they go through the person's card and then they go through the bank charge, and we get charged almost $4 for every ticket. So we lose $4 even on our discounted price. But I'm also aware how many people are on a fixed income or very watching their money. I appreciate that.
Well, and that's your commitment. Not to cut you off, but that's your commitment. That's why I love you, because your commitment to making sure that everyone has the opportunity to at least have some entertainment is what I think is the coolest part of what you do. And that's because so many people are so frustrated about this upcharge thing, because restaurants are sticking it up there and we're going to charge you another $4. And I get it. Hey, you do what you got to do. But to be able to say, you know what, we're going to eat some of that just to make sure that we can keep things the same is so cool.
It's difficult. And in fact, last night Michael said, we had to order more cups. We have our cups that you can take into the auditorium, and WBGZ gave us their new logo, and that was great and chipped in. But last night he said, we're almost out of our pens, and we have really, really good quality pens. And I said, well, how much is the refill order? He said, just 1,000.
Oh, no.
It was like, okay.
For pens.
Is that gold on that pen? Is that real?
Well, and see, that's why I think it's so cool with the ticket prices the way they are. It's never ungodly. It's never expensive to really go to a show, and they're good shows. And,
yes,
and that's the
and
thing.
Sometimes people may not have heard of the title, but that's because we're not on the East or West Coast where there is theater. Every 15 miles there's a theater, but they're really good. We read 100 shows for everyone that ends up being the unanimous favorite of all the directors. So they're saving a lot and not paying St. Louis prices, and safe parking lot, and they'll have fun. I guarantee it. And so I hope people will really sign up, or at least try it, because I think if people come once or twice, they'll say, well, I might as well buy a season ticket. Then I can come every time, or I can give them to my kids. I've had a lot of people say, we're going to be in Scotland or we're doing something in May, but I wanted my kids to have free tickets to come see this, and I love that.
Well, I do too. And honestly, I think that's I don't know, it's just me, but it seems like we're starting to get more towards that regular entertainment lineup again of our day-to-day lives, because it used to be in this community for quite some time. Well, work got done at 5 and pretty much every bar was full by 5:30, but you're starting to see this trend come back to where it's really not on that scene anymore. It's more towards events and entertainment. And that's what I like.
And the movie industry has really been hurt because of the streaming. And I stream too, so I get it. But I was so excited when we built the movie theater. It's empty. I just don't even know how they stay open. And live theater has that risk too, because people just say, oh, well, I have to put on some clothes. Can't sit on the couch here in my underwear.
Right. COVID did a lot of that too. Because we got used to putting those sweatpants on and going on Zoom, and you were good to go for the next 4 hours.
That is totally true. But it's a different experience, and you're with other people and laughing or feeling or experiencing things and just having some conversation. It's a wonderful experience, and I don't want it to die off.
No, and that's the thing, because when you feel the performers on stage and you're really going through that, it's something special, that the TV and the screen can't give you.
And no ads. Well, we do a little curtain speech, but we don't interrupt you during the show.
Well, and with that being said, too, the open audition, or not open auditions, the open house.
Yes.
April the 28th.
This Sunday. Yeah, this
Sunday.
Isn't
that crazy? This year is flying by. I told Mike upstairs, I said, I don't know how I'm going to get through January. This is the longest month of the longest year of the month is what I told them. And by the time I knew it, I'm in May.
You're right. You're right. It was sort of like that. It kind of crept up. It was cold.
Yeah.
We had that freeze, and now we just go solid.
It's just insane. It's like I blacked out in February and woke up in May. It's just well, and that's why I really hope that folks get season tickets to and bring their little ones to this open house, because it's a good way for anyone in the community really to stop by and just see the stage, see the theater, and see what you guys are cooking up, but also for the children.
I'm making the guys clean the whole building, so please come, because I said people will want to show the theater itself to their kids, and maybe that will encourage them. And who doesn't like Duke's cake? Come on.
Right. Did you see their Cinco de Mayo cakes they're coming out with?
Yes, in fact, that's what I worried about, because we also have our Tex Sunday dinner, and I wanted them. There's a wedding cake in the show. They probably remember the girl pops out of the cake, and Kelly looked at me like, "Do you know what the 5th is?" And she kind of points up. I'm like, "Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo." How about just a big cake? You don't have to do the wedding cake.
Right, just a big one, just a big cake.
Big cake. I got 25 hungry actors.
I'm telling you what, though, I saw those tacos that they're cake tacos. I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Oh, they're adorable. They're adorable. But I wanted to do a movie cantina.
Yeah.
You know, I'm into the themes, and I wanted all the food that they always have on movie sets. And Lorian, he's at Godfrey Meat Market. He's helping me out, and I just wanted a whole bunch of making a donut tower and all of these things, because I was at a movie set one time in my life, and I thought I was more fascinated by the canteen and the movie food.
Can I be a grip?
Yeah, exactly. And that's who eats the most. Yes,
I bet. Well, and what I think's cool, is as we're gearing up to this, you guys really laid out the year, I think, perfectly. The producer in me from my old life is just loving this, because what better way to celebrate Disney than when you can celebrate school being out and the families together for their first time, in 9 months. That's really cool. And then you go into Oliver, but I think the way you laid it out and you stepped it was just great. I mean, you blocked wonderfully. And now, is there anything you're looking to do outside of what already is scheduled this summer? Is there any kind of Lee Cox ambitions out there?
I'm not totally sure for this summer. I am excited about the amphitheater and a couple of things going on. And, we try and support the community and the other things. And it's a busy time because summer is short and the families have a difficult time sometimes with summer school and sometimes with things getting a vacation. And I know that's important. And Oliver's so big, but I know it'll be fun.
Right.
Because the kids will be cute. I know they'll be cute and wonderful. But people forget how many adults are in Oliver. Mm-hmm. And we have some terrific actors who have waited a long time wanting us to do that production. And we have some people auditioning. I think it's going to be a tight race for Fagin. Yeah, I think that role is coveted by a number of people.
That's incredible. But that shows the passion of the performers, too, that really want to be there.
Yes.
And, man,
and they have to be good with kids, because that's one of our things. It's like, yes, you're an adult performer and you will, have a lot of time, but these kids are here to learn and they're here to be treated well. Mm-hmm. So we have to have people who really like kids. You can't have somebody in that show who says, "Oh, I hate kids."
Rolling their nose at them and everything.
That won't work. That won't work.
Well, and as we get back to this, there are tickets available for Singing in the Rain, but I also encourage you, as we've been talking, for season tickets to Alton Little Theater, where you can get not just Singing in the Rain. I'll hit you with a couple of them. Disney Tribute, Oliver, Rocky Horror, Best of the Best, Broadway, The Front Porch, The Haunted Widow Lincoln, another potential in March coming down the pipeline, and that's just the extra entertainment series. Yes. For your season ticket, you also get Making God Laugh, A Christmas Carol, The X's, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, Women of a Certain Age, directed by the one and only Lee Cox.
That's right.
Are you excited about that one?
I am. It's a very, very funny show, and I always are like, "Oh, why did I say I directed? I want to be in it." But
well, and I'm just excited. Who's the leads again for Singing in the Rain? I forgot to ask you that for another blog.
Eric Sykes and Katie Ober, and both of them. Katie had one minor role in Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder. Mm-hmm. She just sparkles. She is one of those people you just see in the line, and she had little bitty roles. She did anything I asked her. Beautiful voice, but she was just, really cute and little. And I was like, Oh my gosh, she deserves a shot. And she just got married, just as cute as she can be, 5 foot. She's 5 foot, so she's tiny, tiny, tiny. That's how she fits in the cake.
Well, right. Well, oh, hey, another thing we got to promote.
Yes.
Your mailing list.
Oh, absolutely.
You can sign up for Alton Little Theater's email list, and this is really cool. You put your email address in, and you'll be able to get up to date and in the know. It's right here on the bottom of the page. Let me go back just on the screen to show me. Why not? Join the Alton Little Theater Showplace email community. You put your email address in right here, and I'll put mine in. Subscribe. Look at that, Lee Cox. You got a subscriber.
And then upstairs, Mike Hall will send you email blasts all the time, updating you about things.
Yeah, and I wanted to make sure we promoted that too, so that way you could stay up.
And people do contact me and sometimes say, I'd like to usher, I'd like to, volunteer, because they know they earn free tickets by doing that. And so that's great. And sometimes we hear about people who just moved to the area who love to build sets or, have experience in technical things. But people are going to love Eric. He just finished Sweeney Todd, and when I saw him, and then I was like, a little rough around the edges, but he cleans up very well. He's just charming. He is one of the nicest, and his work ethic, I mean, that man puts in a full day at work and then comes and taps his heart out. And it had been years. I mean, he took tap, but, it's been years since. It's not something you do all the time.
Well, right.
And he has worked and worked and worked. And he and his partner and 2 friends came from Granite City. And I love that they're all in the show. They're great people.
Well, and that kind of is really enlightening for just, entertainment lovers and theater lovers in general, is the fact that and publicly that, it's cool to work with a different theater and bring them in, and it grows the community even more.
Yes, and I mean, we say all the time, but I know people don't believe, we don't pre-cast. Kevin is very strict about that. In fact, he took a real risk. He did cast the show except for the lead.
Yeah, when he told me that, I went, out of all the years you've done this, what are you thinking?
But Eric was in a show. He'd sent in a Zoom audition, but Kevin wanted to meet him and talk to him in person, and he was in this other show. So I was like, okay, and I'm crossing my fingers, and luckily it worked out. Normally, Kevin has at least 2 auditions, and then he'll do callbacks if he's not sure. That was a really unusual. But someone who's charming, can sing, can act, and can tap in 8 numbers, that's a little bit
hard to find.
A little bit hard to find, yeah.
And all I know is this: whether you guys are going to the open house on the April the 28th, which is this coming Sunday,
18th.
Oh.
No, 28th. You're right. I'm getting the dates mixed up. 28th.
And May 18th is the show we need to sell tickets for.
Yes.
April the 28th is that open house. It's held in the Dorothy Colonius
Foyer, yes.
Did I say that last name?
Yes, you did.
I always get nervous about that because
Really?
I always do.
Colonius.
Colonius. And it's not just an open house. It offers a chance for early registration for those summer youth acting classes from July 8th through the 19th. It's also an opportunity to hone in some skills under some guidance with Lee Cox and Kevin Frakes, hang out, and also audition for Oliver throughout that, and get cake and ice cream.
Right. And some of the kids, and I know this, when we say bring a prepared song, that freaks them out. They don't know how to do that. Although most of them just know how to download on their phones. And then we hook it up to the sound system. So we don't have a live accompaniment most of the time, but it's really easy to come and just sing a song that they really like. Not Happy Birthday. That gets overdone a little bit, but
American Idol ruined that.
It really did.
American Idol 100% ruined.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we need to know if you're putting any inflection on that. So sing Happy Birthday. That's
yeah. And after the 12th one, you're like, okay,
that's
you
enough.
can't tell them in between.
Yeah.
So you can't. And just talking to us, because we know it's intimidating because we have all the directors there. So you usually are standing in front of 4 or 5 people, just like on those TV shows. But we're not going to eat them up. We're very nice people. But I know they're nervous. I can tell. I can look at their knees. I can see they're shaking a little bit. But everybody's in the same boat, and everybody has those nerves. And we want to just make sure they get used to auditioning. That's what we work on in our classes in July. We teach kids how to do an audition because Kevin and I have both spent years auditioning in front of some very hard judges. I had one in college who I thought I did a terrific reading, and they said, now, I know this came from this book, so I want you to tell me about the entire book and the subtext of this speech. And I was like, I didn't read the book.
Oh, no.
He gave me 24 hours to read the book and come back and try it again. And I made it, but I was like, I learned, be prepared.
Oh,
that was a theater program at Illinois Wesleyan.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough program to get into. It wasn't us.
But it's good to know for parents that there is a place to go to prepare your child if that's what they're interested in, or even just to try out, that this is an option and a great avenue too.
Absolutely. And then we have so many of the high school kids say we help them get ready for that, and then college, and then they'll come back sometimes. We met a couple of kids last night. They weren't really kids. They were in their 20s who they were bringing their younger brothers and sisters, and they said, don't you remember when I did this show when I was 8 years old? And sometimes I'm like, they look a little different, but
well, and that's the thing. It's not just in preparing your child. It's also giving them a community to be a part of too. And that's a big thing right now, is to in a community that's not on Xbox or PlayStation or on your cell phone, a community where you're in person, getting to talk and mingle and getting to know each other.
And no one last night, Chris, we were at West Elementary. It's not that far from where we are, but my biggest fear when I grew up is when people say, I had no idea we had a community theater. But a lot of people would say, oh, I drive past there. I know that. So at least I thought, okay, I'm doing a better job.
Yeah.
They at least know we have a community theater.
Well, and that's really that's step one. That's step one. And step two is getting you to go to altonlittletheater.org right now to get season tickets and to get tickets for May the 18th, especially for Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
And then also to sign up for the email blasts that come out where you can stay up to date and get the information for everything else you need. I think I covered it all.
Even the little ones. See, we don't do a lot for the little ones, but the pancake breakfast
That's
and the
fun.
Disney tribute. Little boys and little girls, under 8. I love the pancake man. He makes the animal shapes. He throws the pancakes at the kid. I'm not sure. I said, please don't throw the syrup on that carpet. But I love his act. He does a whole act. We were very, very lucky to get him. We booked him a year ago. So
This is so cool. The whole family will enjoy your favorite Disney princesses, meeting up with classic villains and true love.
And they're funny. The villains are
they?
like the nicest guys. I'm not scared of you at all. But that's probably good because I don't want to make the kids cry.
And you're going to have Alton Little Theater singers perform renditions from about a dozen Disney favorite movies. 2 pancake breakfasts with the princesses will be held on June 1st and the 9th at 11 a.m. And tickets are just $12.
Yes.
You can't beat it.
No.
Oh, get out of here. You can get all this information for the concert tickets, the breakfast tickets, all the other tickets, the season tickets, the tickets for me to go to Singing in the Rain, too, if you wanted to get me one, at altonlittletheater.org, or call the box office at 618-462-3205. And when you give Michael a call, just tell him that CJ sent you.
He'll
his
love
way.
it. He'll love it.
Anything else we're forgetting about today?
No, he said he was going to listen to us today. I said, you just have to make sure you get to the theater on time.
Yeah, RiverBender.com, Michael. Is he on Riverbender? We'll find out.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm putting you to the test when I see it. Well, the best was when I texted him the other day. I thought it was your number.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, hey, Lee. He goes, oh, well, this is Michael. And I said, oh, man, I am really sorry about that. I'm embarrassed.
It happens all the time. See, usually he comes with me, he talks to my call, but the website is in great shape. I said, there's really nothing for you to do.
It looks really good. I told Mike that, too. Everything is wonderful.
Yeah, he's taking care. So I said, you really can just go to the theater. You don't have to come with me.
Lee Cox will see you at the theater soon, Lee, and I'll see all of you after this commercial break for Top of the Hour News on Riverbender.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Even if they say you're wrong, well, it's alright. Sometimes you gotta be strong. Well, it's alright. As long as you got somewhere to lay, well, it's alright. Every day is Judgment Day.
Oh, 10:05. Welcome back to our daily show. 25th day of April. And, man, what died on the vine? Sucker died on the vine, man. Hey, top of the hour news at 10:05. Major closures on Interstate 55 and 64 have been announced for this upcoming weekend, and here's the latest. IDOT has announced a significant closure on the westbound interstate of 55-64, stretching from the I-55-6470 interchange to Poplar Street Bridge in East St. Louis. This closure, necessary for patching and resurfacing, is scheduled to begin at 9 p.m. on Friday, April the 26th, and will end at 5 a.m. on Monday, April the 29th, weather depending, of course. During this period, all westbound lanes and ramps within the project limits will be shut. However, certain connections, like the ramp from westbound I-55-64 to westbound I-70 and others, will remain open. The $5.2 million project aims to enhance this critical infrastructure by the end of May. IDOT urges the public to use alternate routes, such as the I-70 Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge, and avoid using mobile devices in the work zones. Also in the news, a new biography titled Jockey Queen, Lillian Jenkinson's Holder, Horse Racing's Fearless Lady, by former Venice resident Roger Peach, is captivating readers nationwide. The book details the extraordinary life of Lillian Jenkinson Holder, a pioneering female jockey from Southern Illinois, starting her career in 1926 and racing until 1971. Wow. Holder competed in over 10,000 races and won over 3,000 despite never being allowed to be part of a race at recognized Party Matul racetracks due to the gender discriminations. Her final bid for a jockey license was unjustly denied in 1969 despite her passing all physical requirements. Peach, inspired by his first sight of Holder racing in 1966, began researching her life in 2016 and uncovered a tale of resilience and defiance against the entrenched sexism in horse racing. Jockey Queen is a tribute to Holder's unyielding spirit and historical account for her challenges and achievements in a male-dominated sport. Here locally, on Tuesday, April the 23rd, Abe Lee Barham was elected as the Democratic chairman of the Alton Godfrey precinct, taking over from Steve Kimbrough. Barham expressed gratitude towards Kimbrough's contributions to the party and voiced enthusiasm for upcoming challenges as the new chairman. Barham posed 10 critical questions to energize and strategize for the party's future. These include innovative fundraising ideas, encouraging more Democratic-leaning candidates to run for office, enhancing media relations, increasing minority involvement, leveraging Facebook for marketing, empowering individuals for recruitment, and understanding the reasons behind the decline in party membership. Barham seeks collaborative efforts to rejuvenate the party's image and ensure members feel valued consistently. The Alton City Council, in a unanimous decision on April the 24th yesterday, allocated $429,000 towards enhancements of the Brown Street Bridge at Rock Springs Creek. This funding may increase as the Committee of the Whole considers an additional $180,000. The total funds, drawn from the motor fuel tax or Rebuild Illinois funds, aim at replacing the double box culvert beneath Brown Street. The project necessitating the removal and replacement of the road and pedestrian pathways above the culvert could see further allocations if it's required. The Committee of the Whole is scheduled to revisit this topic on May the 6th for preliminary discussions. On Saturday, April the 20th, 10 members and sponsors from the Mississippi Valley Christian School senior class and American Christian Honor Society dedicated their morning to support Beverly Farm in Godfrey. Beverly Farm, a nurturing residence for adults with developmental disabilities, witnessed the altruistic spirit of these students. Under the guidance of Miss Alexis Weller, the development manager of Beverly Farm, the group revamped the landscaping around 3 houses. Their efforts are in preparation for their upcoming Family Week, and my apologies, enhancing the setting for this special event and significantly contributing to the community at Mississippi Valley Christian School. Let's take a look at weather before we talk to Sydney. It's only 52 degrees out there, but the hindsight being 2020, it feels like 60. Today, a blend of sun and clouds tonight. Plenty of clouds with a late thunderstorm. Oh, well, that's pleasant. Temperatures will reach 65 degrees today, drop down to 50 overnight on Friday. A 97% chance that you better bring out that umbrella. Of thunderstorms, 71 degrees for the high, 64 for the low on Saturday. No rain in the forecast, a high of 80, a low of 67 degrees. On Sunday, a 96% chance of thunderstorms, a high of 80, and a low of 62. On Monday, partly sunny skies, a 70% chance of rain, a high of 73, and a low of 52. That's what awaits us coming down the pipeline in the next 5 days. For time and temperature throughout the day, you give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. 10:10's the time. Before I take a quick break, are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? A life free from addiction's possible, and it starts at Centerstone. Centerstone is a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages. With a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives, Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs, so that means that the recovery care plan is developed for you based on the latest science. There's so many unknowns on the road to recovery, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be a constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction, well, it can happen to anybody, but so can recovery. So start working towards your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org. Before I take a quick break, as always, let's take a look at downtown Alton in our Skycam, and then we'll talk to Sydney Sinks right after this on RiverBender.com.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. prices you can trust, and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. If someone's had a longer week than I have, it's Sydney Sings. How are we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you like the theme music?
I do. It's pretty. I feel special. There we go.
Okay, the search for identity through coffee snobbery.
That was the blog this week, and basically the point just being, have you ever wanted to be better than you are, CJ?
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes. This is going to be a fun conversation. Here's my thought initially.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to be a better person.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, if I'm comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Well, that's a good point, too. There's something, we'll just jump right in. There's something to be said for being comfortable and liking and just being okay. And that's kind of my point, too, is like, I want to be exactly who I am, but with just like slightly sharper edges. Like just slightly like a little bit more pulled together, a little bit more confident, a little bit more like got it handled. So, you know, that's kind of the idea behind the blog this week. And my point being that if I was that kind of pulled together person, I drink more like fancy coffee as opposed to like, you know, just for example.
Yeah. Well, you're right though, because like for me, my biggest thing right now is like, I'm like, man, I need something to do that's not necessarily going to go work some more.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you know, I have interests that I haven't been able to pursue in a while, like, you know, catching up on, you know, documentaries that I wanted to watch about certain historical figures and, you know, doing some reading and doing those things. And so mine's not really, I don't define mine as being better.
Yeah.
I define mine as just trying to find my work-life balance.
That's a great point, too. And I think that's an issue for, like, everyone. I don't know if anybody has that figured out because it seems like everyone's in that same boat of just, like, what do I do when I'm not at work? Because I know what I do when I'm at work. But what do I do when I have my own time and have this chance to kind of be by myself? And how do you feel that? So, yeah, I mean, that's very real.
Yeah. So, you know, why do I want to become someone with barista-level knowledge? Sydney asked. We all know that person, and they're annoying.
They are.
But I want to have that aesthetic. Why so?
Well, the idea of being a coffee snob, you know, so to speak. And I joke in there, my current aesthetic is more English major meets seasonal depression. So, you know, sweaters and instant coffee and hitting snooze one too many times. But I think the people I picture as someone who has it together, I picture that, you know, we all have that friend who's like, oh, this is my coffee that I've grinded the beans for, and I, you know, and I volunteered last weekend, and you know,
I think I blew out a tire. I tore up the carpet too.
Oh no.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Sorry. That's why you don't move in a wooden chair.
There you go.
But you know, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, right.
I 100% do, because there's always that person in your life that, you know, it's you know, whether or not it's, you know, their tumblers full of, you know, green tea in the morning at 7:30, they're cooking their eggs at 7:45, their dog's getting walked at 8 o'clock, they're at work. And
absolutely.
Is that kind of am I stepping on something?
No, you got exactly what I got going on here. So yeah, exactly. You're just someone who's a little bit more got it together. And you know, that's definitely kind of, I'm like, how do I become that person?
I love this though. I'm actually confident instead of just faking it. How much longer, you know?
Yeah.
Because my biggest thing is I fake it till I make it. I've told people that for years. You smile if you're upset.
Yeah.
You fake the happiness until all of a sudden you don't realize you're faking it. And it just it does happen. Not all the time. Not the healthiest thing, but it does happen.
Well, and there's something to be said for faking it till you make it, because it does, like you said, eventually it kind of works and you have it pulled together. And maybe I'm wrong. You know, maybe everybody feels like they're faking it. I don't know, but
I feel
let
like
me know.
well, here's my thought on that. I feel like the people that don't think they're faking it to make it, or maybe don't think they are, people they feel they have it all put together.
Mhm.
I think those are the ones that really don't have it all together.
That might be the secret. I don't know.
You know, because it's like they look put together,
Yeah.
but then you don't realize that they're 40 years behind on their taxes. They got all these things going on. But the ones that kind of like you and me, it's interesting to see the dynamic play out on how the day affects the mood and how it affects the routine.
That's interesting. Yeah. Say more about that. What do you mean?
Well, like, if it's a rainy Saturday, and you were every morning you're used to getting up to going for a run, and that's your routine, or you got to make sure you go crack your espresso machine up, or whatever you do for it. I don't know how espresso's made. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if all of a sudden it's raining on a Saturday morning and you want to sleep in through a thunderstorm and you don't, why not?
I guess, and that's a good point too. It's the balance between being that, that level of pulled together and taking care of yourself, and also like go with the flow. Life isn't that strict. Things are, okay. So
an old Halloween costume. My junior year prom dress. Is that what you meant?
No, that's what I found.
Oh,
in my closet,
okay. I thought that's
yeah.
what you called your prom dress. I almost started dying. I'm like, well, you are mean today.
No, I looked great at prom. Thank you very much.
No,
But
I just wanted to, I'm sure you did. I just saw that. I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't see the period there. I was like, oh my God. So this quarter life crisis is a real thing.
Yeah. Oh, very
100%.
real.
And I think it's even more so than a midlife crisis, because it doesn't happen to everybody. Midlife crises don't.
Yeah.
I think quarter life crises do, because in our world it's even worse, because we have Snapchat and social media and all these
very
things.
true.
So you're seeing a friend that you saw was not even a friend, maybe a bum in high school that's out in Miami Beach right now, sitting on the top of a high rise,
living it up.
Well, and then all of a sudden you start to reflect a little bit, and you're like, well, I work in media. I got that. It makes you kind of depressed, because you see everyone having fun and you see all these things, and that adds to your quarter life crisis.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Just the social media age that we're in right now. I think that's part of my whole complaining here too. It's just the social media age we're in. It's very hard not to compare yourself to that person who seems at least to have it all together and have that green tea at 7:30 and just be going and have it all put together. So it's very honest. Just the social media aspect of it, and trying to balance that and have fun with it too, because it's supposed to be fun.
Our buddy Rusty Wheat listening in today, it's not what you do, it's what they think you do.
Exactly.
That's a great point, Rusty.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And well, I mean, it goes back to all of those things, Sydney, but whenever you're going through that, do you think you're going through like a quarter? Because I am going through one. I can tell you that 100%. Because, and my thing is, I don't know how you feel about it, but you want to do those things, but it's not like depression. It's not like anything like that. It's just like this wall that's telling you want to do it, but your brain's not letting you do it.
Yeah,
does that make
absolutely.
sense?
No, it's like stagnation almost. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's a huge benefit to being comfortable enough to feel stagnant also. Like when you're not like, the duck with your feet paddling underwater, but you're just kind of like handling things and getting through life. That's kind of a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I shouldn't no bad parts of that, because that's really great too. But there comes a point where it's like, okay, but what am I going to do? Like, what's my next move? What do I want to do next? And I think maybe some of that is the social media age of being like, you always have to keep doing something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Well, and that's true though. I mean, that's a really good thing, because nowadays, someone in our age, our generation, our class in high school, they can sit there and they put on a suit once because they're going to a court hearing, and then they act like they're a businessman posting motivational quotes. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So we see that as, oh man, they're putting it together, and everyone's taking pictures on the beach. They're doing all this fun stuff, and then you see maybe a company post something about a great work trip they did. Well, then all of a sudden you're like, well that's. I mean, I want to do that, but you really don't. Because if you think about it, it looks exciting, but you don't realize all the BS that guy's doing and going through.
Well, that's true. Everyone has their stuff, too, that's going on. Everyone has their stuff that they got, that they're getting through. So I think that's a big part of it, too, is just handling that. The quarter-life crisis and also the age of social media combination is very bizarre. I'll be honest with you. It's a bizarre time.
Well, and this is really fascinating. Take me through this passage about cleaning out your closet a little bit whenever your quarter-life life crisis hit you the other day.
Absolutely.
Take me through that. That's very fascinating.
So I was spring cleaning, which, believe it or not, I do every now and then clean up a little bit. So I was cleaning and I was going through my closet, and at first, it was going strong, and then I got to like all these other things, like an old Halloween costume and my prom dress, and even like a tiny ballerina outfit that was hidden in the way back of my closet. And it just was interesting because it's like these are all the phases of my life that I've gone through, and then here I am today with my my sweaters or whatever. And it just is interesting to see this person that I used to be and trying to make sense of that person then, the person I am now, and this person I'm trying to aspire to become too. So it just is, I don't have an answer really. My whole point kind of is this, just I don't have an answer. No one else seems to have the answer either, and that's okay. We're figuring it out together.
Well, and that's the thing that I think is really important about that too is, especially now, it's so wild to me that in the world of technology and social media that everyone thinks that they're going through something alone.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Like, everyone, like you said, no one has the answer, no one has this, but think about how many other people feel the same way you do. And
exactly.
It's not 24-year-olds or 25-year-olds. I mean, we're talking 40, 50, 60 years old that lived their whole life doing something. They wake up one day and look around and go, oh my God, maybe I need to do something a little bit different. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I did it all wrong.
Well, and I think there's power in having that conversation with yourself too, and realizing like maybe I want to do something different, because it's never too late to do any, to start over, or to try something different, or just to push yourself in some way. And so I think it's very exciting just to see people kind of dealing with this and asking these questions, and even this quarter life crisis, quote unquote. It's kind of exciting to be in that and to be like, okay, well, here's my chance to kind of think about what I want to do next and where my next steps are.
Do you reflect on where you're at though?
What do you mean?
So every 90 days, I kind of do a little bit of just a checklist of where things are going, how I feel like I'm doing mentally, career-wise. I do it and actually Joey Diaz, of all people, the guy that was on The Longest Yard, the real fat guy, he's the one who said that. That's what he does. So
that's awesome.
That's cool. So when I started doing that, I realized that actually I'm not really doing anything wrong, because you think about it, you get down in the dumps and you're like, man, I'm sitting here, at the time for me, it was like, going straight to work. I don't have any friends anymore. I'm not talking to anybody. But then I started to sit there and just like plan it out and like lay it out, and I'm like, oh, well, actually life's good. I have a job. I just bought my first house. I was able to do this and those things. So do you do that stuff with like reflections or? Yeah,
I think there's power in that too, is kind of being like, you know what, and gratitude, being like, I have a job, I got a roof over my head, like I'm very lucky, you know, and having that reminder every now and then, and reminding yourself too that like you are not in it by yourself, and there's time and things kind of happen when they're supposed to happen. So the right people will come to you. I believe I'm a big believer in just kind of like opening yourself up to whatever the universe has in store. So,
Year of yes.
Yeah, exactly. Year of yes. So kind of that idea of just whatever happens will happen the way it's supposed to. And in the meantime, what I can do is just take care of myself, take care of the people around me, and, figure it out bit by bit. So while the quarter life crisis, quote unquote, will continue probably for, who knows how long, but it's not a bad thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's like what's good about it though is I'm sure writing about it and talking about it helps immensely.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's power in speaking about it, and I kind of hope that someone reads this and maybe is like, oh yeah, I get that, because really remembering you're not alone, and it's easy to kind of continue and keep that facade up of just like, I am pulled together, I've got this, don't even worry about it. And I think a lot of times we try to keep that facade going, and on social media, clearly that's what you're trying to do all the time. But being honest about these very human emotions and confusions and that kind of thing is like super strong, I think, and helps other people realize it too.
100%. There you go. Almost like just preaching up here today, Sydney. Good for you.
I'm caffeinated. So
you were ready to go. I loved it. 10:29, and we'll come back with Donna Kennedy right after this. That's Blog Talk for the week. Hot damn.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got showing.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. Welcome back to this 25th day of April. It is a Thursday in downtown Alton, 53 degrees. Is it warming up out there? Is it nice? I'll be darned. I gotta quit complaining.
Yeah, it's nice.
Donna, how's everything treating you?
Wonderful. Life couldn't be better.
Well, about a year ago, we talked about the latest release at the time, and now here we are again, the last time I saw her. How's everything going with everything?
It's wonderful. Like I said, I just released the 4th book. I'm getting ready to have a big launch party May the 16th. Well, I can talk about that in a minute, but I've won several gold medals for... I won a gold for Best in Romantic Suspense. I won a gold in Best Psychological Thriller. I've got like 4 gold medals out of it so far.
That's really cool. And now that's just with the last time I saw her?
No, I haven't got anything for last time I saw her yet. That's for the last 3.
Oh, wonderful. Well, and just if you could give us a brief overview of the 3 novels in this, some of that we already talked about, but just for our audience that may or may not have been around the last time we spoke, fill us in on the trilogy.
Okay. Well, I thought I was going to write a memoir, right? And I sat down to write it, and it's kind of based on my mom and my life. And it was really daunting. It was really kind of hard. And I don't know where it came from, but I started this mystery, and it was fun. I mean, I was like, I really like this.
You were more sucked in than the reader at the time,
I was. And you know, it's funny. I sit there and get excited.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's about a young woman, based, like I said, it's based on my mom's life, and I just exaggerated it. But she's a young author, and she gets reunited with an ex, and then she becomes this best-selling author, and she starts getting stalked. And she was in the military, which I was, and she kind of knew something was going on because she's hypnotized in the military, which is true, and she finds out she has repressed memories. So it goes from there, and it builds with each book.
That's incredible. And now, how did the 3rd book end up going? Because I know we talked about it last year. Did it receive quite the accolades?
I won the New York Big Book Award, the gold medal for that. I'm supposed to go to New York in June and get my award, and I got to go to Miami in June and pick up my other award.
Can you tell me where they're doing these award shows further in advance so I can go with you and maybe we can hop on the plane? I can do New York and Miami in a couple of days.
You could be my speaker, because I don't know. Like I told you, I'm a talker, not a speaker.
Well, and for you, how has it been, just where we're at now, where you're now having a standalone, the last time I saw her, it's got to feel really great to see your journey in writing really take off to the point where you're not only producing 1, 2, 3, now you're up to 4 books with a great series already, but now with a nice novel or a very nice book that we have another journey to start, Right.
Well, it's already been submitted for more awards, so
that's wonderful.
My readers are really excited about getting it. That's why I'm having the launch party. And when I first started writing, like I told you, I didn't think I was going to be a novelist, let alone for thrillers. And then my mother, I want to tell you, I got all 3 books done, and my mother died in December, and I was able to read her all 3 books before she passed. And the day she passed, I was number 2, 3, 4 on Amazon's bestseller.
Are you serious?
I am serious. It was weird. It was like one of those, things. But it's like, I know my mom knows. So it was amazing, really.
Well, and that's what I think's that's a really beautiful moment of that, too. A book that starts out about you and your mom's life, turns into this really unique thriller.
Yeah.
I mean, to read that together has got to be one of the nicest memories of that, too. Were you able to get some type of feedback?
Yeah, she had Parkinson's and dementia, and it got worse as it ended.
Yeah.
And at the last book, she's like, "That's really sad." and it was the part that was more fiction. And I was like, "Mom, your life was the sad part in the first 2 books." but yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Well, that's really fascinating. And now, take me through your launch party. You say you have a launch party coming up?
I do. At the Dewdrop Inn in Dow, Illinois.
I love that place.
Yes. And it's going to be May the 16th, which is on my mom's birthday.
Really cool.
So
my sister's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wonderful people that are Taurus.
I'm telling you.
My birthday's Saturday.
Oh, happy early birthday.
That's right. But no, it's going to be from 5 to 8. At 5, it's going to be like a cocktail hour, and we're going to have food, and we'll have dinner around 5:45, and then around 6:30. Throughout the process of these books, I bet you I've had 100 messages. What's real? What's real? How did I not know these things? And I'm going to answer questions about the book, the truth about the truth. And then I'm going to talk about the writing process. I've learned so much in this process that is, it's an amazing process.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you too, because I could only imagine as you're going through this and, you're kind of developing your skills. Does it help you kind of develop not just writing skills, but just interpersonal skills too?
Sure. And let me tell you, I think I told you last time, Colleen Hoover, do you know who she is?
No.
Okay, well, she writes novels, and she had 9 on the New York bestsellers list. Her sister did my first 3 covers. I did my last one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And editing, like when I first started, that first book was so expensive because, I paid everybody to do everything. I didn't know anything.
Right.
And now I can help others. So it's just been really fun. I enjoy it. I'm going to be 60 Saturday, and it's like to start this so late in my life after my military career. I'm like, hey, this is nice. I like it.
This is and it's something where you enjoy and you're passionate about, and you're able to live through your passion and still be able to, have a career out of it.
Keep my old mind going.
Yeah, I ain't kidding there. Well, and does writing help you with those functions too? Because I was always curious about that. Whenever someone's used to writing a certain novel, especially if it's a long series, if their brain only starts to focus just on that. But when you're writing about so much that you're really exploring everything.
I'm weird. I sit down.
Amen.
When you're in school, when you're in college, I went to school for counting. I didn't go to school to write. And when I sit down to write, I don't do outlines. I don't do all of this brain. No, I sit down like I'm watching a movie, and I type really fast, which is one, but I just start typing the movie playing out in front of my face.
Yep.
And I can be in bed. I can be wherever I'm at, and I get ideas, and I have to stop, and I write them down. And I have 5 other books going right now.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Now, what are they going to kind of be about? Before I know we were talking about the last time I saw her, but just a quick preview. Any genres you can give us?
Well, at the end of this one, I think I'm going to make a series of this. Like I said, I never know what the ending's going to be.
Yep.
So when this one ended, I was like, oh, that's good. So I may very well do something with that. But I have other genres started. So like I'm writing a sci-fi fantasy. And yes.
That's cool.
And I do a lot of research. And I have learned everything in my books. Like in one of the books, I was searching like spies. And I found out I didn't know what to look for. And it was talking about 1985, the year of the spy. Well, by golly, I used it and I switched it around and made it work for me. But everything is normally I've used in real, something from real life to go by.
That's what I think makes it so interesting, too, because that way the reader's always going to find a correlation there or a tie-in. You know, it's not made up. It's deprived, but it's taken from real circumstance.
Exactly.
So how long did it take you to write this last time I saw her start to finish?
This one took me a while because of my mom.
Yeah.
Mom got sick, and I spent most of my time with her, and then I was kind of depressed. So, because we were very close, and but I don't know what happened. I sat down probably. I mean, I had most of it written, but it is nothing to what I started with. So when I got back on in January after the funeral and everything, I was like, the book's almost done. I changed it all. So I pretty much had the book done within 3 months.
That's incredible. And now, is it already up for sale?
It is.
Where can we get a copy?
Right now it's on Amazon. I'm still working with Ingram Sparks to get it put on Barnes & Noble, Target, and all those, and they're working with me. It's a slow process.
Yeah.
But, and since I did my own design covers, I had to create all of those and meet everybody's criteria, so that's been fun. And but it's on Amazon, and like I said, at the Dewdrop for the night of the launch party, I'm going to have bunches of books, and it's like $25 a person, and it's going to buy your book, and provide a meal, and all the conversation, and have your drinks or whatever you're going to do,
and just enjoy the night, celebrate this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Well, and that's what I think's cool about it too, is that you're really you're such a great person to kind of interact with and be around, that it makes it approachable for younger authors that maybe need some help and don't know where to get started to come up and talk. Yeah,
love that, because I knew nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's what I love the story so much, because you were honest the first time you called in or we talked. You said, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
I didn't. I just said, my daughter makes fun of me because I sat down in front of my laptop with my legs crossed. I always sit with my legs crossed and bent over like a footstool and typed a whole book. And she goes, "How did you do that?" And I was like, "I don't know, but it worked." So
good posture. Yeah. That was a good stance.
I was like, don't ever come and look at my workspace, because it's not normal.
Well, and what are can you fill us in on a little bit of the story of the last time I saw her? Just a brief synopsis, if you could, for some of the readers to get them excited for the 16th.
Sure. The third book ends on kind of a cliffhanger, and I love them. I love plot twist. And one of the characters I created in the book, I really loved her. So, and one of the storylines in the third book, I thought I can really make this work. So the third book is based on Charlotte Dahlia, which is the main character in the series. Charlotte is her best friend, and it is Charlotte life story and what she has to go through. And it's basically just a story of two best friends and what they go through. And they've gone through kidnappings, and they've gone through being charged with murder. And I mean, it's just an amazing kind of story. And it brings it together where this friendship kind of goes above everything else. And it's wonderful.
That's really cool. And are you going to have any signings outside of the 16th too, locally?
I will.
Okay.
Yes. I'm kind of an introvert, which is, what writers kind of are. So I do get out there, but I don't do it like everybody else.
No, but I like it though. And to me, this is so exciting. It really is, because I
feel it inside.
Right.
I mean, it's so exciting.
Well, and too, it's one of those where the community can get excited with you, because I mean, you're hitting all of these milestones that no one would be able to kind of expect.
No, it's wonderful.
And from where we talked last year to just a year later is incredible. So what's your kind of message out there for younger writers that maybe don't know where to get started? They're kind of maybe down in the dumps about it because they have a great story, but they just don't know how to do it.
Do it now. Just sit down and write. I said it from the time I was probably 25. I'm going to write a book, going to write a book, going to write a book. And I had kids. I had a life. I had all these things, and I didn't do it. And like I said, I'll be 60. And I'm finally doing it. And it's like, I wish I'd have done it all those years ago, because one, it's so cathartic.
Yeah.
And
100%.
Yes. And the stories that you can tell to help other people is amazing. And for me, one of the best things that happened to me was I sat down at the computer, I set my timer for 7 minutes, and I just wrote. It didn't matter what it made. And I started doing it for like every day. And sometimes it all made sense. I was like, that's not a bad idea. So that's why I've still got 5 books in the works. But you just have to sit down and write. If you don't do that, but once you get a story, I would love to help. No problem.
Well, and now, have you gone through maybe some feedback that doesn't go your way and just pushing through that? Because I was talking to some young writers, and they were saying that, they thought they had a pretty good idea, they had it together, but maybe the the individual that was looking over it they hated it. They thought, well, no one's gonna, no one's gonna read that. I appreciate it, but it's not for me. How do you maneuver that? Because it doesn't seem like you really had that abrasion. People really responded to your books. But do you have any advice for those young writers that might go through something
Not
different?
everybody likes the same kind of music.
Oh, there you go.
I like all stories. I read all genres, and I think that if you have a good story, as long as you know how to tell it. And like my first book is not the best book I've written. It's still good, but it's not the best. And I think just getting out there and writing it and putting it down and taking constructive criticism's a big thing.
Yes.
But don't ever be told no.
Right.
There's no.
Just do it. Yeah,
you just
do
it. You do it. And if it's your story, there's somebody that wants to hear it.
Do you think that the time that you waited, because you said, at 25 you had this idea, and now, here we are at, 57, 58, or when did you start?
3 years ago.
Yeah, so we're close to that. Did you think that if you would have started writing at 25 that it would have been as not successful, but in terms of just enlightenment for you? Or do you think those career and those life kind of circumstances aided to the feeling you get by your writing?
I'm very wise now, and I was not then. And you have to live a life to tell a story. And I don't think my stories I think my stories back then might have been a little bitter.
Yeah.
And a little bit more aggressive. And now there's such a peace in my life that they come out just more of a story to tell.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was kind of wondering too, because it seems like, where you're at, I mean, you ran down the gauntlet in those 3 books, and then now here we are with the last time I saw her. And by the way, folks, go to Amazon right now because you'll be able to get your hands on a copy and get your tickets for the May 16th book launch party, the celebration of Donna Kennedy over there at the Dewdrop Inn and Dow. And how long will that run? What's the times for that?
They're going to start at 5 for the cocktails. You can get on my website, dfkennedy.com, and you can RSVP, and I'll have a book waiting for you. Or you can just show up at the door, and if I have enough books, fine, you can get a book. But there's still going to be food. There's still going to be all this going on. So either way. And I would love, and I'm going to try to talk personally with every single person, answer all the questions they may have.
Well, and that's what's great, too. And honestly, just for a community, just to go and celebrate, an individual that's doing some really good stuff. I mean, I seriously love it. Last time I talked to you, I thought this is wonderful. And now to hear that it just keeps growing and growing. And I think it's really cool when somebody after a career of military service to find something new that really does hit all of the boxes. I think that is the coolest part of the story is that after all the hard work that goes into serving, to be able to have this next chapter of peace and tranquility and your cathartic writing sessions. That's what I think is the coolest part of this whole story, the entire story of Donna Kennedy for me.
I took 4 years off. I took 4 years. All I've done is write.
Yeah.
I didn't date. Nothing.
Yeah.
And now that everything's going good in life, I'm dating. I met somebody, and life is good. Yeah. But I had to have that 4 years to.
Yeah.
I just had to deal with me. I had to learn to like me and become this person.
Yeah, you had to meet Donna.
Yeah, and it's wonderful. And I got to get her out there, and I was telling my daughter, and she's like, Mom, you cried writing those books. And I was like, I did. And it's amazing how much I got out that I didn't even know was still there.
To me, that's what I think is really amazing, too, about that, is I hate to use the word therapy for something like that, but that's the only thing I can think of is it's really a working therapy session where you're going through and, even if it's a complete fictional piece and it's not taken away, there's still going to be some correlation with an author to that fictional statement because it's lived experience that they're trying to tell in a different way.
Every writer has some truth behind their book.
100%.
And I will tell you, when writing the first book, my mother's name in the book is Sylvia. And I remember writing, I think I told you this last time, I kept typing Sylvia, Sylvia, Sylvia. And I thought, there's an underlying tension here. And I remember I went back to my mom. Mom was still pretty much with it. And we got to talk about things. And I wrote a lot of truth. And we got to go through each one. And she's like, well, that's the truth. That's the truth. Don't kill me off in the book. And that was her big thing.
Yeah.
But it was just amazing. It really was. It's just an experience. And the writing, learning the writing has been... It's something I do every day.
Well, and I think you're a great testament, too, for any individual local writer because, let's face it, not everyone has the major publishing, friends that can say, oh, yeah, we'll put your book out there. And not everyone was present to write a bad book so you can slap your name on it and get it to sell in Target.
Yeah.
The hard work that has to go in when you're doing this on your own and in a way, on your own, it really shows what you have to do to really get things going.
Yes.
Because the world's not going to stop and bend for you.
No, they don't help.
No.
and I will say, you need to have some money set aside.
Yeah.
To be real truthful, I took out a second on my home.
Are you serious?
That's how I started. I took a second on my home so I would have the cash available to start putting these books out. Oh, yes, I did.
That is incredible.
Yeah. And it's some people don't have that, but you don't have to do it because now I know what to tell you not to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I blew a lot of money that I didn't know I didn't need to blow.
Yeah.
But I was learning and nobody was there to help me.
Well, and too, it's the way I like the way that you speak with people too, because whenever you normally have a consultant or some type of feedback, it's it's sterile.
Yeah.
I hate that. It's like, talk to me like a human. Let's talk honest. And, every time I speak with you, it's just the human side. And
I talk.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think it's going to be so beneficial for any individual that, calls you for advice because you aren't going to get this sterile, all right, I was asked question A, so I'm going to give you answer B, and we're going to keep going. It's really honest, and it's lived experience that I think is so cool, and that's why I love what you're doing to keep continuing your career and even trying to help folks is really awesome. But you're up. You got to help Donna on May the 16th. There's so many May dates flowing up.
Yeah.
May the 16th at Dewdrop Inn, which happens to be my sister's birthday. Celebrate local author Donna Kennedy and her latest release, fourth in what? How many years?
3.
Fourth in 3 years and 5 more coming down the pipeline.
Yes, they're coming.
This is a great way for the community to get behind Donna, meet with Donna, ask a little bit more about the book if you've had a chance, and if you haven't yet, buy all 3.
Yeah.
And then go see Donna.
Yeah, but I will have bundles there.
Oh, you will too?
Yeah, I'll have bundles because there's going to be some people who haven't read them and you need them.
Yep, you really do.
Yeah.
And now, are the next couple of stories all going to kind of center around your universe of writing here, if that makes sense, that because of the cliffhanger leading into the standalone?
I have one that's pretty close. That's a different genre. And that sci-fi book, that is one that I really want to write.
Yeah.
And I might just take the year, because I don't have to pump these out.
Right.
And you don't want to pump them out. It's got to be organic. So for me, I'm really focusing on this sci-fi one. And I'm going to work on maybe the next one, because I didn't leave this with a cliffhanger. I just made it to where this gal can become something else in other books.
Right.
So I've answered all the questions, so nobody needs to call me and say, what happened? Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. All the answers are coming.
That's just incredible. Donna, it's been really a nice pleasure talking with you. And I always tell people 15 minutes, and 20 minutes later, here we are still chatting along. But I really encourage you folks to go and support Donna and learn more just about all the great things that have been happening. dfkennedy.com. That's dfkennedy.com, where you can see the latest books and you can get the latest on that launch party on May the 16th, all there at dfkennedy.com. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, you're welcome back.
And you made it so easy because I was so nervous.
Oh, never be nervous. You're welcome back anytime, too, seriously.
Thank
Any
you.
new books come out, I need to have you back on the
Thank
show.
you. Well, and we're going to have to take a trip to New York.
Oh, that's right. We're going to New York.
Yeah.
That's right.
My boyfriend will be just fine with it all.
It's all good.
Yeah.
We're good. 10:54, a little bit of change. Our Thursday morning wraps up right after this.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
DJ Mike Keith. This is where I am today. Let me show you where I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
This is a moment we won't forget. On top of the world here together. If there ever was a time for a perfect kiss, well, this is it. This is it.
Couple of minutes. Oh, Donna's not here no more. My fault. Boop. You know, I've been actually in a good mood. I don't know what happened, but I started feeling better. My sinuses broke during like the blog talk with Sydney. I'm hanging in there. We'll see how long it lasts. The Madison County Homemakers Extension Association planted 2 butterfly bushes at Roxana Park yesterday. Association members gathered at Roxana Park on the 24th for their monthly meeting and to plant the bushes. They explained that this was one of their many community projects, from sewing blankets for cancer patients to putting together holiday gifts for residents in local nursing homes. That's what we're known for. Helping people in our community, said Betty Weaver, a 50-year member of the organization. We've been at it a long time, and we've taken from our community, so now it's time to give it back. That's my motto. The Madison County Homemakers Extension members are difference makers in their region. Weaver explained that the association is affiliated with the University of Illinois. They were previously known as the Madison County Home Bureau. Today, they work with the university to give back to the community. The university also sends them information about different topics. Weaver explained that the recent lessons weren't of interest to members, so they decided to do something a little different. We are affiliated with the university. They send us lessons, but they're on cooking and everything, and all of us have cooked forever. So a few of us decided, why don't we do something for the environment? Weaver said the members recently watched a presentation about bees and pollination. And they all agree to focus their efforts on the environment. The butterfly bushes will attract butterflies and bees to the park. The association collaborated with the Roxana Park director, Debbie Ferry, who secured the butterfly bushes for them to plant. Weaver said Ferry is a wonderful girl, and she promised the park staff will keep the bushes trimmed and looking nice. The bushes have been planted next to the gazebo at Roxana Park. I said Rock Springs Park, at Roxana Park. For more information about the Madison County Association for Home and Community Education, you can visit their official Facebook page or go to iahce.org. That's iahce.org/Madison. And if you have a difference maker of the Riverbend that you would like to submit, you can email news@RiverBender.com. I'm out of time. And I'm already kind of falling back down here. 11 o'clock, I'll see you tomorrow back here at 9 for more of our daily show. No, I'll be at Alton High School for their career fair. I'll see you there. Until then, just try your very best to stay out of jail.
He said it would. I always leave.